Here's the Liftmaster 8365267. Comes with 2 remotes, the keypad, all the hardware you need, the wall button wire, photo eye brackets, your front mount, and then your one-piece rail. Once you take the rail out of the package, all you're gonna need is, right now, a 1/2-inch socket, 1/2-inch wrench combo, and then regular 1/2-inch wrench for tightening the chain. All you have to do is undo these screws, take the chain off, line up the holes on the rail, here and here. One of the things I like to do is loosen this chain as much as possible, so that way there, when you're going to tighten these bolts, you can get the holes to line up, and then you can put the screws in there. Once you get the screws put in here, you just take the plastic cap that's in the hardware bag, put it in the back here, clip it back in. That way there protects the sprocket from any fingers that might get in the way. And then once that's done, you come down with your combo wrench and your 1/2-inch wrench, tighten this up. You want to make sure that your chain is aligned all the way around so it's not twisted one way or the other before you get it around the sprocket. It just really stinks when you have to undo the whole chain to do something you could have prevented. And then it's kind of happy medium balance, trying to find the right tension. Once you do it a couple times, you'll get the hang of it. But if you can't figure it out while it's running, and if it starts slapping, you either have it too tight or too loose. But you just get a little squeeze, and it shouldn't bounce around too much. And then once you have it at the tension you want, you tighten up this other nut. Now your chain's tight. Now you can go ahead and, for your old opener, disconnect the pin. And then there's a pin up top. You'll take that out once you get the 2 1/2-inch bolts back here out. Then you'll drop the head down and pull the rail out. So the reason we're replacing this motor is the sprocket ended up shearing off. And then before you take it down, you obviously want to disconnect all your wires, pushing in the orange tabs and pulling them out. So you just take the 1/2-inch, loosen it. The same thing over on this side. Now this is ready to push these bolts through and drop it down. Once you have the motor down, go up to the front, and then you can take the pin out. And most of these use the same pin over the course of their whole lifespan, so if you don't want to change the pin, you can just swap it out right there. Now with the new motor, it's basically repeating all those steps in reverse. Put the motor up so you can get it to the front mount, then you pick it back up and put it back where it's hanging. Now you can just pick it up, rest it on your ladder, and then lift it up, put some bolts in there, and tighten them down. Another thing you want to do is, when you're setting this up with the operating bracket, you want to make sure that the front mount is centered to the operating bracket. And then when you're hanging it, you lift the door up, and make sure the bracket's centered. Right now that's not centered, So I'm gonna have to move that operator over. And just start by moving it over one hole, seeing where everything gets lined up. Come down. Just want to check that everything is perfectly in line. And then you can tighten these bolts up. Now when you look at the door, everything's lined up. And you want to make sure you get your opener hanging straight as possible. It's aesthetics. One of the things I like to do is curly cue the photo eye wire, so that way there, if anyone ever steps on it or pulls the wire a little bit, it's not gonna get stuck on anything or pull the wire out of the eye, and it just gives a nice clean look. So you just want to try and do things nice and clean. And then there's your curly cue. So another thing to look for when you're dealing with these photo eyes, so one's going to be green and one's going to be orange. Typically the one over here which says receiver, that's going to be the green eye, and then the one with no writing on it is going to be the orange eye. So this eye sends the signal to this eye, and they'll both light up. But if they're misaligned in any way, door's not going to want to close. So this is 90% of the reason why your door won't close, is the alignment of these. Now we're over here doing the photo eyes. So these older style ones come off using a 7/16. And then we're just gonna end up splicing back into this wire. So we just cut it. And you strip about 7/16 of an inch back. So this wire is prepped and ready for the new photo eye. So you have your new photo eye bracket, just pops off. Typically you can clip them to the track, but then they get kicked and bent. So what I like to do is take a nut and bolt, put it right through. Tighten it right to the track. Now that we have the bracket attached to the track, you can take the supplied hardware, put it through till it locks into the eye. Put it in here, adjust the wing nut. Now you can tweak these afterwards to get the alignment you need. And then we'll just take this, staple it up there, staple it up here, and we'll pull so we have the right amount of slack. Cut it, prep these wires, and one of the wires is white, one of the wires has a black stripe going through it, so you obviously match the wire with the black stripe to the black stripe. Twist those together, and then you do the white to white. And you just trim that up a little bit. Put some wire nuts on them so you don't have exposed wires. Then staple it up nice and neat. Now you can see this is the green eye, so if anything's in the way, this light will start blinking, and that means you gotta realign the eyes. Now we're gonna go over to the other side of the door and do the orange eye. And now you'll notice that I moved these down to where they should be. They should be 4 to 6 inches off the ground. So that way there, if anyone falls and gets trapped in between here, the door will not close and squish anybody. So now we're gonna assemble the operator arm. You're gonna need 2 bolts, 2 nuts, the 2 lock washers, and the 2 pins. One goes in the rail and one goes into the operator bracket on the door. All right, so now take the long bolt and the arm, put it in. I'm just gonna put it down here. Then you take the arm and the short one, put it up here. Now, you don't want your arm to be straight so it hits up here and hits these bolts, but you don't want it kicked back as far as that because it won't put the right pressure down on the door. So you want a little happy medium to where it's still kicked back, but not kicked back too much and not too straight. So then you put your nuts, bolts, and lock washers on. Then you take your 1/2-inch socket. Tighten them up, and now when the door presses down, it'll have a good angle. Now we can set the limits. So you want to lock your door into the trolley up here so it'll travel along the rail. To set the limits on your garage door opener, you press the black button. Now it'll be ready to set the up limit. You don't want to hit the stop bolt right there. You want to stop before that. And the door is fully open. So now you hit the black button. Now you see the bottom lights blinking. So now we're setting our down limit. Now it touched. Now you want to watch the rail to make sure it doesn't go up too much. But you want to apply a little pressure to it. Now you hit the black button. It's going to go into the force settings and automatically set the opener's force. This will be a series of beeps and blinks. Now it's setting the travel force on the up position, and then it'll do it on the down position as well. If the photo eyes aren't aligned, this process won't work and it'll get really frustrating. Now the limits on your garage door are set and you can run your door. So if you have a new garage door opener with the new yellow antenna, and then you have an old opener with a purple antenna, the Liftmaster 893 Max, it'll be able to program both openers to the same remote. To program the Max Remote to the yellow learn button, press the yellow learn button, press the button you want, and the light will go out. Now this door is programmed. And this will close the door. So now we're gonna go over to the other garage door, program this big button to the purple antenna. So this garage door opener is a purple antenna and a purple learn button. So how you wanna program the Max Remote, in the back, there's a program button. You want to take the clip off, hit the program button, it'll light up this red LED. Now we're gonna wanna program this button to it. So what you do is you press the learn button and you press the button until that learn button goes out. Once, twice. So now that took it. So you press any other button on the remote to stop it. And now you push the button to run the door. So now you have one remote to control both your garage door openers. No more having to carry around multiple remotes for different frequencies. So now when we're wiring up the wall button, you put your black wire or your red wire to the red terminal, and the white wire goes to the white wire. And then you just put it on the hook, set it down, neaten these wires up, and then underneath here, that's where the other screw goes. Now once you have it all neat, I know these look off, but the screws that are in the center are in the same spot, nice and level. So that way there, when this customer replaces this garage door opener with a new one, they'll be even and matching. So now your light's blinking, so you just press the button. Now it's ready to go. Press this button right here. That will open the door. If you flip up this little button, you will see the learn button. That's another way you can program your remotes or your MyQ. And then there's a lock button here that if you go on vacation, you leave your remotes in your car. Someone breaks into your car, they can use the remote to get in. But if you press and hold this lock button till the LED flashes, now the remotes won't work. To get it out of lock mode, press and hold the lock button again till it goes solid. And now you're back up and running. Also have a light switch here so you can turn the light on and off. Now your wall buttons are all set. That concludes today's video on how to replace a garage door opener with a Liftmaster 8365. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.